Hey guys, welcome back. I am decluttering my entire basement, so I'm gonna share with you my top 5 tips for decluttering any space really fast. The first thing I do when decluttering any space is a little garbage bag therapy, and I promise you, you will be surprised how much garbage you have inside cabinets, inside drawers, especially if you have children. My kids found candy wrappers and Barbies without their heads on, and craft kits that were pretty much all used up, filled coloring books, the list goes on, but we were able to fill it's embarrassing, but 3 garbage bags filled with undonatable things from our home. Tip number 2 is to find those big ticket items or things that you can group together and sell to earn a little bit of extra money. Throwing an old-fashioned yard sale is a thing of the past. Now they have online swaps, they call them on Facebook, and you probably have one right in your community. So search the name of your closest city that you live in and swap, and you're gonna find a Facebook swap site, and this is, I've found, the best place to sell your gently used items. The best part about Facebook swap sites is that you can do everything from your phone. You can take pictures, upload the description, pick a price, and answer comments and schedule pickup like in a breeze. We had everything sold in just a few hours, and you make so much more money than you do from a traditional yard sale. I really recommend grouping things into lots. So if you've got a lot of girls' toys or boys' toys, or even clothes that you're not wearing, consider grouping a big group of them into a lot and charging, say, $60 for a lot instead of posting each individual item. Decluttering tip number 3 is finding those feel-good items in your home that you can donate. And what I mean by that are the things in your home that you're not using and loving, but that other people will really appreciate and are really in desperate need of. A couple examples are extra linens. Almost everyone has extra blankets or sheets or towels that they're not using that are taking up just valuable space in your home, but your local animal shelter is desperate for these. Give them a call. You're gonna feel so good dropping them off, knowing that they're going to be going to such a great cause, but you're also going to free a ton of much needed space in your home. Another great feel-good donation item is gently used children's books. I can promise you that your child's school will be absolutely thrilled to receive your books. I called Izzy's teacher and told her we had 65 extra books that we were, yeah, you heard that right, 65 books that we were using, chapter books and all age groups of children's books, and she was ecstatic. I'm gonna tell you, teachers are thrilled to receive books because a lot of the times they're in classroom libraries. They have to purchase those books themselves with their own hard-earned money, and they are so grateful to be able to receive your books and share them with students of all ages. We also took 2 giant boxes of toys that my kids were no longer playing with, and we donated them to our local daycare center. My kids weren't playing with them anymore, and daycare centers, they're tough on their toys, so they get broken and they need to replace them quite often when you've got oodles of children playing with them, and they are so grateful to receive your gently used, make sure they're in good condition, they're not broken pieces, but your gently used toys. And just knowing that you're gonna have all of those toys getting played with every day by so many kids makes you feel really great. Decluttering tip number 4 is asking yourself, what is the worst thing that could happen if you got rid of this item? Worst case scenario. So I have quite a collection of dollar store containers that I've been holding on to just in case. You guys probably feel me with the just in case. Yeah, so I asked myself, what's the worst thing that could happen if I get rid of these? And I need a few of these in the future. And the worst case is I would have to rebuy them, but they're from the dollar store. So I'm holding onto these big bulky items when it would just cost me a couple of dollars if I needed them in the future to replace them. The space, having that extra space and not being stressed out by all the clutter is definitely worth the couple of dollars I would need to spend if by chance I would have to replace them. Asking myself that question over and over again really made it easy to get rid of so much extra clutter that I was holding on to just in case, and really it wasn't needed. And decluttering tip number 5 is of course one of my favorite, and that is creating a time capsule. So there was a lot of things that I was like, I don't use them very often, like all my kitchen stuff. but I was having a hard time letting it go just in case I needed them. They were kind of pricier items and I wasn't sure what to do with them, so I packed them into a box and I gave them an expiration date. So a time capsule is where you pack things up, but you put it in a place where if you do need that item, you know where it is and you can go back to get it. But if you come across that box, 6 months or a year from now, it has the expiration date on it and you haven't had to open it, it's so much easier to let it go. And I don't even open the box. I just look at the date and say, you know what? I haven't needed what's inside of this for a year. It's time to let it go. I hope you're feeling inspired to declutter today. I have decluttered over half of my craft supplies and the kids' toys and so much out of our basement. I am thrilled. It feels so much lighter. My house is gonna feel so much cleaner, and I hope you're inspired to declutter as well. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. So thank you guys so much who have stayed to the end. Want to hear about my week? It's been crazy pants. So I went to Toronto on Wednesday. Toronto's not my thing, man. There's a lot of people, it's super busy. There's like millions of people and they just don't look across the street and they jump across. It's like a jaywalking capital of the world, I'm pretty sure. And so I almost killed a bunch of people and I was super stressed out. So I just parked and walked everywhere. And let me tell you, I'd be super in shape if I lived there because you basically have to walk everywhere because parking's so expensive, but I digress. So we had YouTube training and we were working with, the first day, we were working with an expert, a YouTube expert, who was sort of like looking at each of our brands or each of our channels and giving us some advice. And we were in groups of 4 and there was 2 guys and me and another girl. And this girl was gorgeous. I mean, she was like super hot, right? But her channel was about like Caribbean life. She's from the Caribbean and she liked doing that sort of thing. And he was just like, his advice to her was to show her boobs. He's like, you're so hot. You need to totally work with how hot you are and make sure your boobs are in every thumbnail and put sexy in all the titles. And she was just like, but that has nothing to do with my channel. Like, she was pretty offended, right? And I was offended for her. And then he came to me and he sort of like looked at my channel really quickly. It's like a cleaning, organizing channel, right? And he's like, you need to capitalize on the fact that you're like not hot. He's like, you need to really work with the fact that you are just, not like the other hot LA moms that are cleaning their house on YouTube. You're like the anti-MILF. And I was like, that is so freaking rude. As true as it might be, I mean, yeah, I saw his point. I am not that mom with her perky boobs and her Lululemon pants dusting her already perfectly clean mansion that looks absolutely brand new and perfect, and she's cleaning it anyways. That isn't me. I get that, and the majority of you guys watching aren't that person either. So I mean, I saw his point that it's about being relatable or whatever, but the anti-MILF comment was pretty freaking rude, and I was just like so turned off. I was gonna drive home like the 5 hours. I was like, why am I here? Your advice is for hot chicks to capitalize on their hotness, despite like that her channel had nothing to do with that, and I needed to capitalize on the fact that I wasn't hot. So that was his advice. It wasn't a good start to the training, but the rest of the week was pretty amazing and I met the best YouTubers. I'm so excited about just so many of them that I met, and their channels are amazing, and I'm feeling inspired to maybe make better content for you guys. I have a new tripod coming. That's something. Speaking of tripod, so my house is a disaster, and I only had a couple of days. I came back on Friday night at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I only had Saturday, Sunday to pack up the entire basement. The girls' rooms, the craft room, declutter everything, sell all the stuff before the contractor was supposed to come. And last night, very late, I got a message from him that he's not coming till next week. Till next week. So I was just like, I worked nonstop. I killed myself to get everything packed up and moved out of there. And I didn't put it nicely in the living room. I threw everything in there. It's like a jumbled hot mess because I was in such a panic to get it all done. And he's not coming till next week. So now Izzy's living like a squatter. We sold her bed, we sold all her stuff. She's getting a whole new room, so now she has to live just like this for a week and then in the living room for another 2 weeks. So if anything, this is going to make her appreciate her bedroom when it's done, no matter what it looks like, because it's better than a mattress on the floor in an empty room, right? It's giving me heart palpitations. But I lost the adapter to my tripod. So my camera is actually duct tape to this tripod with like a ton of, it's a little crooked and it's duct tape up there, so I can't even like sneeze and it may fall off. It's a thing. I have no idea where the adapter is. It's lost in this junk pile of a mess that I call my home right now. So I am going to spend this week tidying up the mess, making it less of a just disaster zone. And as soon as the contractor comes on Monday, I'm going to film the whole process. So knocking down the walls, drywalling, new floor, like it's so much stuff going on down there, just so the girls can stop screaming at each other. She's looking at me. She's touched my stuff. I don't know, whatever. Oh, honestly, it cannot come soon enough. They're driving me crazy. And I get to redecorate 2 rooms and I'm pretty excited about that. So stay tuned and thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.